So far, so good. Almost everybody did a really nice job in going from a pre-writing to a rough draft to a first revision to a second revision to an editing and putting it all together. Almost everybody went through all 5 steps and came up with a pretty good essay. Some of them were very good essays. There were a few problems. One of the problems some people still need to think about a little bit is conciseness, and so we're going to talk about that in this week's lesson. I'm not going to talk about it on the video, but I am in this week's lesson, and then I'll give you a little exercise to work on that as part of your assignment. So, no, that's coming. The other thing is it's time to make decisions about what your research paper topic is, and then to try to find some sources that can help you with your research paper topic. Okay? So that's how you start, by looking for, you've started by finding a general topic. Now you want to look for sources. Okay, so what do we do? How do we do that? First thing, you need to get note cards. 3x5 or 4x6 note cards, okay? You can buy them in the bookstore. You may have some sitting around the house, whatever. Do not try to do this on loose leaf paper. Do not try to do this just on your computer. You need note cards. It makes the whole process that much easier, okay? Now, what do we do with note cards? Well, first of all, we're going to be collecting works for our bibliography. And that's all we're going to talk about today, is collecting works for your bibliography. So you have all written me a general idea of what you think your research paper is going to be on. So start to find sources where you can gather information for the research paper. How do you do that? Go to the library and talk to the librarian. Go online and look for things that have to do with your topic. Type it into the scholarly news kinds of things that our library website will tell you are available there. Go to the library website. It will tell you what kinds of sources you can use to find scholarly articles that really help you find your material. There are web-based sources, web-based indexes that are all about different diseases, okay? There are web-based indexes that are all about different kinds of psychological problems, okay? And so by going to the library website, it will name some of those for you. Okay, what do you do when you find something that you think might help you? Take one of your note cards, okay? And on that note card, start first by writing on the first line the author's last name and then the author's first name. If you have more than one author, take the first author's last name first and then first name, and then write the other authors in regular order. First name, last name, first name, last name. But the first author's name that's given you, last name first, okay? The next item is going to be the title of the book, if it's a book. If it's an article, then the title of the article, and put titles of articles in quotation marks. Okay, put titles of articles in quotation marks. Then if there's a book, write down the name of the book and underline the name of the book. If there is a volume number, write down the volume number. Then, if it's a book, write down the city of publication. Then write down the publishing company. Then write down the date of publication. If it's an article, then write down the date of that article. Okay? And then, like if it's a magazine article or a newspaper article, write down all of the pages that article appears on. Okay? And that's all that goes on one bibliography card. So don't try to put something on each side of the card. You're only putting one thing on a note card for bibliography purposes. One work, one source that you're going to find. Okay? You can use internet, you can use books, you can use magazines, you can use newspapers, you can use advertising periodicals that organizations put out, like American Cancer Association or Lupus Association or whatever. Okay, if you have some of their pamphlets, fine. They'll be fine to use. Make a separate card for each. When you actually write your research paper, you're going to have to take information into your paper from at least 6 sources. So if you want to have more than 6 now, that's not a bad thing. You can use more than 6 in your research paper too, but we'll want information from a minimum of 6 places. So what that means is that you're writing research papers. Pretty much everything that you take from someplace else, you have to tell where it comes from. You're not writing these papers out of your head. That's not a research paper. You're not writing about a topic that you can get from one source. You don't have to do research for that. You only write a report for that, okay? So that's not what we want. You want something that you have to take from multiple sources and put together, okay? So I explain all of this in the lesson, and you'll need a minimum of 6 pieces of information for this week's paper. I hope, this doesn't look like it stopped, but it's running kind of funny today. So I'll review this and make sure that it's working right for you, okay? So anyway, take a look at the assignment, and if you have any questions, give me a call. Thanks.